but I wanted to save for the end Assassin's Creed Shadows. I know,
Yes.
I know what you want to talk about, but we got to save that for the end. Let's just talk about the game itself.
No, no,
No, no,
listen,
no,
let's
no,
talk
no,
about
no, no,
Assassin's
no.
Creed
I want to save it for the
because
end. Wait. We're going to save that
okay,
stuff for the
okay,
end. I got to talk about the game
okay.
itself first, okay? I want to start off
Right,
on a
right, right.
positive note because this game looks good. I'm excited for this game. I'm excited for an Assassin's Creed game for the first time in years. Okay,
Yeah.
so become a lethal shinobi assassin as Naoe and a powerful legendary samurai as Yasuke in feudal Japan. So the trailer was great, but I need to see gameplay, which we will
Yeah.
see soon, sometime in June, at the Ubisoft Forward event. Until then, we do have some info from IGN that they interviewed some developers, and they say Shadows will be replicating the format of 2015's Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Shadows
Ooh.
will feature two unique protagonists played in tandem versus in Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Assassin's Creed Valhalla. You have to choose between playing as a guy and playing as a girl.
Mm.
Whereas in this game, you just get to play as them both. Which when I first saw the trailer, I was like, I hope you can, because the trailer was like leaning towards that way, but I wasn't sure, certain, because I didn't want to have to play two completely different playthroughs of this game that's already probably going to be like 100 hours long. So like, yeah, I'm glad you just play as both of them throughout a single playthrough. But yeah, Naoe is a shinobi assassin who focuses on
Hmm.
stealth, while Yasuke is a samurai who plays more like the recent RPG games.
Right.
There will be a fully dynamic lighting system in which the radiance from sunlight for torches and lanterns can illuminate both the land and you. Escape into the shadows, though, and you're invisible. And if you can't escape the light, you can snuff it out. Lamps or their
Mm.
carriers can be eliminated to create pools of darkness. Oh my god.
That's really
This
cool.
is a system made famous by the stealth immersive sim Pioneer Thief, um, and is
Yes.
used heavily in the Splinter Cell games, which are also made by Ubisoft. So I'm
Hmm.
so excited to see it used in more games. Jonathan Dumont, uh, Assassin's Creed Shadows creative director, adds, parkour has always been something that's pretty iconic and pretty core to the stealth experience because they go hand in hand. To enhance the parkour, the team has given Naue a grappling hook. It's all physics based, so there's a little bit of improbability sometimes when using it. He says, there's a there's a danger to using it, but you could also perform assassinations from it. But the sneaking systems also pull on other aspects of the stealth genre that Creed has typically ignored. For instance, enemies can now be knocked out, unlocking the option for more pacifist playthrough. I'm so happy that this game will be bringing in stealth genre staples, like the lights,
Yeah.
like knocking people out, that the franchise has ignored for so long. Like I mentioned last episode, the stealth in Assassin's Creed games has never been particularly good. So hopefully that changes starting here.
Yeah.
They also say seasons will change based on your progress through the campaign. As spring
Ooh.
blossoms, grass grows tall enough to hide in it. Bushes become leafy, um, perfect to crouch behind. But as the months go by, the approaching winter kills off those natural hiding spots. Hanging icicles threaten to snap and fall, revealing your rooftop position. But at the same time, the worsening weather limits the view of enemies. Howling winds obscure your footsteps. Guard patrols stick to areas of warmth, allowing you to take new, cooler paths. And players will have to adapt constantly to what the environment is giving them. Another layer to the stealth system that gives me hope for the continued existence of the stealth genre, because this is some Metal Gear Solid 5 stuff with the desert and the sandstorms. Um, this sounds like the Assassin's Creed of my dreams. Parkour and
Mm.
platforming that relies on skill and not just holding the right trigger and pushing forward on the joystick. A stealth system that amounts to more than just hiding in crowds and around corners. And
Mm.
actually pulls from major stealth focused games like Splinter Cell, Thief, and Hitman. Um, Something else that they mentioned that you can do is crawl. And I know that
Ooh.
sounds small, but I don't think you understand
It's a lot.
how
That's
much
a big thing.
that adds to stealth combat. Third person games with mediocre stealth only allow you to crouch and hide behind cover. But once you add the ability to go prone, everything changes. Levels have to be designed to accommodate that. Enemy AI has to be adjusted to accommodate that. And the gameplay as a whole has to be adjusted to accommodate that. The Last of Us went from a game with decent stealth that almost always, or well, good stealth, that almost always ended in gunfights and brawls, to being one of the best modern stealth action games ever due to the addition of going prone and crawling in The Last of Us Part 2. I've talked about it. I've talked about how much I think The Last of Us Part 2 is an incredible action game. Excuse me, stealth action game. Yeah, it's something that you can't do in most games. So the addition of it is big and it means a lot.
Yeah.
The full gameplay reveal, like I said, will be in June, and this game launches November 15th. Like, oh my god, like I said, like the way they're talking about the stuff. This has me going like, bruh, they're doing it. Assassin's Creed always should have been a stealth genre staple, and to some people it is, but I don't think it's been deserved. The stuff in these games has never been good. It's been okay. It's been serviceable. It's got the job done, but it's never been good.
It's something, right?
And now it sounds like it might be good. What are some good things you have to say before we get to you know what?
I have all good things to say. I've never really been into Assassin's Creed or stealth games in general, but the dynamic systems, the fact that it's more like Thief, which despite me not being into stealth games, I really, really do love Thief. I love Thief so much. It's a truly like it's one of my favorite games I've never played. Like it's so fun to watch other people play. I've never really been into it, but I know that this game will probably be something that I play because it's like, I don't know, I'm just excited for it. And even with all the everything that comes with it, that honestly makes me more excited because I gain so much enjoyment out of seeing people seethe over stupid stuff.
I love spiting racist people.
Yes, I love it. Listen, if nothing else, I will be buying this game to spite the racists.
Yeah. Now that we've talked about all the good stuff, let's get into the controversy. The pure, unadulterated racism being displayed by so many people online toward Yasuke. So much so that they've forgotten that there's a whole nother character. They tell us to make our own characters. And then when we do make our own characters, in this case, one based off a real historical figure, they still hate it, proving that it's always just been racism. They try to say things like it's taken away from Japanese representation and it's historically inaccurate to justify their racism, but Japanese people are proving their allyship by disproving this at every single turn. But even if he wasn't, why would it matter? It's a fictional story. And in this fictional story, he is a samurai. It doesn't matter if he really was or not. This isn't real. But he was. Right. But at the end of the day, he actually was. So it doesn't even matter. Also, like I said, there are two main characters, and one of them is Japanese. And you know racism is bad when it's almost completely overshadowed the potential sexism Naoe would be getting if she was the only character. Now, she's still getting some.
Right.
But it's significantly less than it would be if it wasn't for Yasuke being in the game.
Oh, yeah.
Some people are calling her the greatest assassin of all time because none of the races have noticed her.
Right.
And I got to quote the great Tony Weaver. He says, Black people don't require an explanation to exist in fiction. They just don't.
Right.
What you got to say?
I just, it really blows me that this is such an issue, doubly so because they're like, oh, it's not historically accurate, and it's like the things that they have done to Oda Nobunaga in fiction they're insane.
Nobunaga is crazy.
Right, I've seen him as an anime girl in gacha games, and y'all are fine with that. It's fine when that's happening, but it's like, oh, you put a Black person in a video game, it's a problem, and it's like, it's just it's so silly. It's so silly.
Yeah, it's like
I can't even be mad at it because it's just so absurd.
It's ridiculous. I don't know. You talking about Oda Nobunaga as an anime girl? It just reminded me of we talked about it a little bit last week about how they talk about the designs of certain characters in Western media versus Japanese media, and it's just overly sexualized and infantilized. It'll be they look like a little girl, and I literally just read it. Hold on, I gotta find this tweet. I just read a tweet that low-key describes this situation not this situation, but situations like what we were just talking about last week.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find it. Okay, here it is. So, people be thirsting all over Jujutsu Kaisen, especially women.
Right, of course.
And somebody, this lady posted, Haruto's stronger than me because I would have unzipped Nanami's pants and showed Shibuya a real incident. And then people, guys in the comments getting upset, calling him thirsty, despite the fact that guys do this with anime girls all the time.
All the time.
And then she like posted, "Fanboys mad I'm thirsting after a grown man with a 401k and a pension plan." Meanwhile, defending they got crushes on 2,000-year-old anime girl toddlers with boobs the size of 5 mountains. Like, they make these characters look like little girls, but then give them very womanly features. It's like, bro, get your life together. Right. Get your life together.
It's like, what I think of specifically when I think of this, every day I regret the fact that I like Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid because it's so good. But then the character designs and then Lukoa, it just like it could have been great. It could have been fantastic. We could have had lesbians, but no. And it's just like we're in the trenches.
Yeah.
We are in the trenches, and I would like to be out of the trenches, please.
Yeah, but going back to Assassin's Creed, it's like
right, we lost plot a little bit.
They try to pretend like Japanese people didn't like the Japanese trailer, but all the comments are a bunch of Americans talking about, "I'm not Japanese, but," and it's so stupid. It's so ridiculously stupid. Go play Tales of Kinzarazao, guys. It stars black people. It's made by a studio created and headed by a black man. And go play Deathloop, made by Arcane Leon, which their sister studio Austin got shut down, and who knows how long they're gonna live after Blade comes out.
Right.
And Deathloop has 2 black protagonists. It came out 2 years ago. Support black business. It's on Game Pass also. And the change you want to see in the world, you gotta support it. Zao is only $20 and free if you have the PlayStation Plus subscription. Deathloop is probably discounted at this point. It's probably like 50 something. Mm-hmm. And like I said, it's on Game Pass. So if you got Game Pass, you can play it.
If for nothing else, spite the racists.
Exactly. We need more games like this. Yeah, it might have been. It was definitely before you joined the podcast. But I talked about how, like, when Deathloop first came out, it was like it was the first game in years that was a game only starring a black person. It wasn't like there's 2 protagonists and one of them's not black. It was a game I played. And I was like, not only does it start 1 black person, it has 2 black protagonists. 2. And you don't see that. Whenever a black person in the game it's GTA and they're a criminal, or it's a fighting game and they're one of many characters on the roster, and they're usually one of like maybe 2 other not 2 other black people, but one of like 2 black people in the entire roster.
Yeah.
So it's like we just need more stuff like this. Yeah, this game I hope is good. I hope when we see that gameplay in June, which is pretty soon.
Yeah.
June starts Saturday. Month. So
yeah.
Like 6 days from when we're talking now. So yeah. I'm excited for this. Comes out, like I said, November 15th.